Dwayne Ford.
We welcome everyone who was watching the shootout thriller in Regina. Joffrey Reynolds nowhere to go, and from all that offense in that opener at Mosaic Stadium, we haven't had much offense so far. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, still scoreless.
And these two teams left it to the defending Grey Cup rivals to put the points on the board. A slow start, as you said, but hey, the defenses have done a good job. And that's a good thing for the Toronto Argonauts coming off the kind of year they had in '09.
Silence so far from Jermaine Copeland. Only one offensive possession for the Argos, and Copeland has yet to catch a pass. Penalty flag down. And once again, it's Reynolds out of the backfield. Referee tonight is Glenn Johnson. Henry Burris signaling that may be against the Argonauts.
Well, it looked like Ronald Flemons jumped at the other defensive end spot this time.
Offside. Toronto number 99. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
I think we can all excuse Ronald Flemons if he's not on the top of his game today.
What a night he's had. Well, really more his wife. Just became a new daddy overnight. 13th play of this drive. At the Toronto 37. Jermaine Jackson. Another first down for Calgary. So Ronald Flemons comes out here and his wife is due, but they didn't think it would happen here. And born today, 3 a.m. at Foothills Hospital. Gabrielle Flemons, a little baby girl to go with brother Jaden, wife Jessica. So congratulations to the Flemons. Boy, he must have a lot of adrenaline in that body tonight. First and 10 again. Burris, the pump fake. Loads of time. And another first down for the Stampeders. Nick Lewis. His third catch already tonight. Moves it inside the 15-yard line.
Once again, you see the strength of Nick Lewis, that balance. Catches that football, he's in traffic. But he knows where that first down marker is and fights through a couple of defenders to move those chains.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders have a revamped front line with the exception really of their all-star left guard, Ben Archibald. That line put to the test there and successfully gave Burris a lot of protection as last year's rushing champion, Joffrey Reynolds, who's won it back-to-back years. Picks up a few yards.
Joffrey Reynolds, the model of consistency here in the Canadian Football League. Averaged over 6 yards a carry last season. Guy who's got a career average of 5.9, has never been below 5.6. Just keeps churning away.
Barring a penalty flag, last play of a scoreless first quarter. Stamps trying to find the board. Burris. Laid out, no catch. Nick Lewis very close to hauling that in. Zeros on the board. Nick Lewis lays out but doesn't come up with the football. Stampeders and Argos. Opening night. Rona Canada Day kickoff continues on TSN. Here are the first quarter numbers brought to you by Tim Hortons, proud sponsor of the CFL. And Dwayne Ford, if Argo fans wanted to see Jermaine Copeland or Cleo Lemon, not seeing a lot of them, they haven't had the football.
Yeah, better luck in the second quarter. The Calgary Stampeders eating up nearly 13 minutes of the first quarter in which they controlled that football. But I guess the victory for the Argos, they have yet to allow a touchdown against this Stampeder offense.
And again, the Stampeders missing their go-to guy from last year, Jermaine Copeland, 12 touchdowns. We'll see Jermaine Copeland tonight. Now it's a third down situation. And the new guy who replaces Mr. Clutch Sandro DeAngelis, who is now a Hamilton Tiger Cat, is Rob Maver, first-round pick of the Calgary Stampeders out of Guelph.
Yeah, Rob Maver, best kicker in the draft, a guy coming off a stellar career at University of Guelph. Frankly, I think Rob Maver was ready to kick in the Canadian Football League 2 or 3 years ago. I don't want to say the transition from Sandro DeAngelis will be seamless, because Sandro, as you said, was Mr. Clutch. But Rob Maver, I think, is as close as you're going to get in a first-year player.
If you had to have a kick to start your CFL career, though, you'd like a little chippy, wouldn't you?
Well, they could have put it in the middle for him.
Yeah, true. This will come from the 17.5-yard line. And Rob Maver, his first kick in the Canadian Football League is good, and the Stampeders strike first. Winning the earlier game over the defending Grey Cup champions, the Montreal Alouettes, in overtime. Leo Lemon takes it and tucks it. You saw there, as we came from break, new rule instituted, really an old rule in the Canadian Football League, that a team now can opt to take the football at the 35-yard line after a successful field goal, or get the opposing team to kick off, and the Argos choosing to take it at the 35.
Yeah, last year, I mean, they're going back to the way the rule had been for many years. Last year it was changed where teams had to kick off after a made field goal. The league's director of officiating, Tom Higgins, told us a few weeks into last season, already all 8 head coaches had called him asking to change it back.
Brought down in the backfield, first touch. Rookie running back Corey Boyd of South Carolina had an impressive preseason game against the Montreal Alouettes, but that time stopped for a loss. Read perfectly by the Stampeders.
Yeah, Stamps did a good job here as Boyd tries to come underneath on a counter. But nice force there from the middle linebacker, Juwan Simpson.
Argos with 2 Canadian kickers, in Grant Shaw and also in Jamie Borum. Backspin here, and a no yards call. So this will move the ball further along. Stampeders with good field position. Let's go to the sideline now and join our reporter tonight, Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine?
Thanks, Rod. Well, the Stamps knew they were getting a new locker room, but they had no idea it was going to be this nice. It's a new locker room area. It's a new weight room, as well as a new medical area. There's state-of-the-art screens all over the place for the coaches to help with instruction, and perhaps the crown jewel is the fact that there's a water treadmill and there's cameras installed so the coaches and the medical staff can see every move of the players while they're in rehab. Rod?
Thank you, Jermaine. One in particular, Kenyon Rambo, rehabbing from that ACL injury last year. Rambo could be seeing action for the Stampeders soon. Burris. Joffrey Reynolds up the middle. And boy, the Stampeders have had the football almost 90% of this ball game so far, early into the second quarter.
And we should expect to see that start to take its toll on the Argonaut defense. Nearly 13 minutes in time of possession for the Calgary Stampeders in the first quarter. The good run there from Joffrey Reynolds. They look to be picking up right where they left off in terms of that ball control offense.
Middle linebacker this year, Jason Pottinger, taking over from Zeke Moreno. Second short yardage, and a good play on the edge, Kevin Iben. And that will bring out the Stampeders kick team, or will it? They're looking to the sideline to get a signal from John Huffnagel. This would be 3rd and almost 3 yards. You have to think they're going to punt this football.
This is forced by Kevin Iben. Times the snap perfectly. Hits that one on the run to connect with Joffrey Reynolds in the Stamps backfield.
Well, this game began in shadows on the field with the sun out, but now the sun retreating in the horizon. The lights on. And the newcomer, new returner, Chad Owens, traded from Montreal only a few days ago. Got speed to burn from the goal line. Looks for a block. There goes Owens, and he got tripped up. Wes Lysak with a big tackle, or Owens would have had a huge gain.
Well, the veteran free safety, number 31, Wes Lysak, Last man back. Clips just enough of Chad Owen's knee. Knock him off balance. This is the fear when you're the Calgary Stampeders and you've eaten up all this time on the clock and dominated offensively in terms of moving the football. But when you don't put up points, and Chad Owens could have given the Argos the lead, if not for that play from Wes Lysack.
Jermaine Copeland back in Calgary. His first game as an Argo. Still has not seen the football. Andre Drury tiptoes down the sidelines, and for those of you just joining us, Drury had a big gainer early in the ball game on a little flip pass from Cleo Lemon.
Andre Drury nearly takes this one to the house. So close to the sideline, just barely out of bounds.
2 catches for 48 yards. So far, though, no number 80. They haven't even looked Copeland's way. And there we go. Welcome home, Jermaine Copeland.
Well, the monkey's off his back. Now they need some of those 12 touchdowns from last season to start working into the equation. Copeland in motion, working in tandem with his wideout, Jeffrey Webb, number 19. Trying to create a little confusion for the Argonaut, or for the Stampeder defenders.
Says he's still getting used to wearing that blue. So many years wearing red of Calgary. And a knockdown again, the rush coming. 4 red jerseys in the grill of Cleo Lemon.
You look at how important Jermaine Copeland and his experience are to the Argonaut receiving corps. Jermaine Copeland, over 8,700 career receiving yards. The rest of the Argo receivers, starters and backups, we're talking about 8 guys, about 1,500.
Chad Lucas probably makes up for most of that. Those are some very inexperienced receivers. Borum again. Now the sun creeping out again as it sets. And a fumble. Picked up by Malik Jackson. Stampeders lucky to get that football back. 3-0 lead. Dion Murphy, the rookie returner, pops it up. And Jackson has it. It is the Rona Canada Day kickoff, a doubleheader today on Canada Day. Game 2 tonight here in Calgary. Stampeders lead the Toronto Argonauts 3-0. Quick hitch pass to Dion Murphy after Murphy had fumbled on that return, recovered by Malik Jackson. Burris goes immediately to him. Nice tackle made by Lynn J. Shell.
Lynn J. Shell, the Toronto Argonauts top rookie in 2009. To the right side of your screen, he'll enter the picture, number 21. Shell right there beats the block from the receiver R.J. Franklin, steps up to stuff Dion Murphy.
Gain of about 6.5, 7 yards almost. And up the gut. Very close to moving the sticks.
John Cornish getting the touch again.
John Huffnagel had talked in the offseason about getting more touches to John Cornish. And so far tonight, we've certainly seen that play out. In fact, he's seen the football more than Joffrey Reynolds. It is a first down. 9.5 minutes to go before halftime. Burris behind center this time with Reynolds in the backfield. Henry Burris almost caught from behind. Finds the receiver, Robbie Bryant, for a first down on the far sideline.
Robbie Bryant ends up as the solo receiver to the right side of the field. He's going to push his man upfield and then work back to his quarterback. Robbie Bryant's speed as he pushes hard upfield gains him a little bit of separation here as the corner, Byron Parker, takes off deep. Leaves Bryant about 10 yards to catch that ball.
Already tonight, Henry Burris has used 8 different receivers. R.J. Franklin overthrown on the near sideline. It will be 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
R.J. Franklin's got about a 40-inch vertical, but he wasn't going to get up to that one.
Well, we had a good chance to sit down with Henry Burris yesterday and talk about this new season and the disappointment of last year. And there certainly were some built-in excuses for the Stampeders last year with injuries to key players like Kenyon Rambo and Ryan Thelwell. And they still managed to tie for first place in the West, ended up in 2nd place and got to the West Final. But they wanted nothing more than to play for the Grey Cup in their home stadium, which they failed to achieve. Burris, strong arm, picked off by Lin-Jay Shell. Shell, and he fumbles. And this is picked up by Jordan Younger wisely. Lin-Jay Shell, who had only 1 interception last year, on a bit of a crazy play, and Lin-Jay Shell has his first interception and then also a fumble on the same play.
Lin-Jay Shell with terrific coverage there on Dion Murphy on that deep ball. Makes his break at just the right moment. Defensive player, maybe not quite used to carrying the football, a little sloppy.
Who would have guessed?
Nick Lewis never wanted to pass up an opportunity to hit something in blue. Pops it loose. Jordan Younger came up with the recovery for the Argos.
Penalty flag. Cleo Lemon with the pass to newcomer Jeffrey Webb out of San Diego State. Three seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs. And this will go against Toronto. And it has not been a dream start by any stretch for Cleo Lemon.
Offside. Toronto number 16. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
This is the second offside call against receiver Brandon Rideau. And this is something the Argos are trying to correct, is the penalty issues. By far the most penalized team in the Canadian Football League last season. Already 55 yards in penalties in this football game. They can't put their offense in a hole like that.
Lemon, little pump fake, looking downfield, no one home. Reverses field, in trouble, lets it fly out of bounds. And there's the experience of a Cleo Lemon who has been around in the NFL. We have seen a lot of quarterbacks for the Toronto Argonauts the last few years, and some of the less experienced quarterbacks may have been prone to hang on to that football and been on the turf.
Well, Cleo Lemon looked like he was digging himself quite a hole there as he doubled back with that one. But we've seen him a couple times showing that veteran presence of mind to throw away the football rather than give up the sack, and also the awareness to throw it out of bounds when he's throwing it away, not just chuck it up for grabs.
Gail Robitaille was giving chase. Second down and 15 yards now. And look out. Lemon dancing downfield and picked off. What an interception. Stampeders have the football.
Well, Keon Raymond's going to get credit for the interception, but the guy who makes this play is the rookie free safety slash linebacker, Eric Fraser. The Canadian comes in, forces Lemon out of his rhythm, forces him on the run. He puts it up for grabs. One of the unsung heroes for the Stamps last year defensively, Keon Raymond, is the man in coverage who outfights Andre Dury for that ball.
First pick of the season for the Stamps goes to Keon Raymond. Play action for Burris, calls his own number, dives forward. More than half the first down yardage close to the midfield stripe with just under 7 minutes to go before halftime.
The Stamps go to a little bread and butter here. Henry Burris faking the handoff, taking off around the end with that football. Comes up with about 8 yards.
Bryant, R.J. Franklin split wide. Handoff up the middle to the rushing champion of the last 2 years, Joffrey Reynolds, and it's a first down for the Stampeders. Another new change for the Canadian Football League this year. The quarterbacks with speakers in their helmets as Henry Burris looks over to a familiar name and face, Dave Dickinson, on the sideline.
Well, his old buddy Dave Dickinson is the guy making the calls now. Offensive coordinator George Cortez moved on in the offseason. He's now with the Buffalo Bills. Dickinson, he collects the information down in distance from Pete Costanza upstairs and then passes on his play call to Burris.
Reynolds again, tackled by Kevin Huntley.
But we talked to Henry Burris a little bit about this system of communication and how efficient it's been. Usually, as we said, Dickinson is getting that down in distance from upstairs as immediately after the tackle's made, relays his call to Henry Burris very quickly. Burris told us during the preseason, they were often actually snapping the ball with about 15 seconds left on the play clock. So they had things down pretty well, and this will allow them to get more offensive plays in a game.
2nd and 3 over the middle. Franklin. First down. So yes, you can forgive Henry Burris for hearing voices.
To me, it speeds up the process, speeds up the communication, allows offenses to get in and out of the huddle that much quicker, that much faster, which allows us more time at the line of scrimmage to, make the necessary audibles, make the necessary checks, to get where you need to be and allow yourself enough time to do so. However, on the flip side, hearing Dave Dickinson's voice is not a sexy thing.
There were penalty markers all over the place here. We'll let Glenn Johnson sort it out. However, if you're a quarterback, and Henry Burris came into this league and had a chance to learn from some great quarterbacks, if you're going to have anybody talking in your ear, why not a guy like Dave Dickinson?
Yeah, whether the Montana draw
Toronto
turns
number
on or not.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Here is another offside penalty against Adrian Davis in his first game as a starter. Has been a backup the last couple of years. Jim Barker, the former Stampeder coach and general manager the last few years, not happy with that call.
The Toronto Argonauts have some young guys on the defensive line. Kevin Huntley's there. Ronald Flemings is there. Other than that, it's Adrian Davis. We've seen Broderick Stewart. Burris doing a nice job mixing up snap counts.
Robbie Bryant to the 10 and inside down to the red zone. Calgary Stampeders in that red zone, or some teams call green zone, inside the 20, were the most proficient team in the Canadian Football League last season.
So it'll be interesting now to see where Henry Burris looks in that green zone. Last year, Jermaine Copeland had 12 touchdowns. You look at the receivers that the Stamps have dressed today, combined total of 2 receiving touchdowns. One by Nick Lewis, one by Jermaine Jackson.
First and goal. Bryant on the end around. Robbie Bryant stopped in his tracks by Byron Parker, back in an Argo uniform again. I don't know what you would even call what happened to Byron Parker last year. Didn't play under the Bart Andrus regime and then went to Edmonton and then is back in Toronto.
Yeah, strange odyssey for Byron Parker, but he's happy to be back. Robbie Bryant, not so happy to see him though.
No. Well, we'll get a good indication now of that red zone efficiency in game 1 here tonight for the Stamps. 2nd and goal. And Henry Burris will use a timeout here. And come over and chat with John Huffnagel and Dave Dickinson. We'll take a timeout. Come back to McMahon Stadium and Rona Canada Day kickoff. Night football. One game already completed earlier today. Saskatchewan avenging the Grey Cup loss in overtime against the defending Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes. 2 teams scored over 100 points in that game. Here we go, 2nd down, 4 yards to go after the timeout. Spread offense here for Burris. Takes it himself behind center. Did he score? No signal from the official yet. And he is short.
The big bodies are going to come into the game, but just a brief moment of hesitation there. Allowed a few Argo defenders to slip off their blocks and get in position for the tackle.
His knees down there, and the lunge, of course, doesn't count after that. So 3rd down and 1. This new O-line, revamped O-line, really the exception of Ben Archibald, the All-Star, put to the test here. The handoff and the touchdown. Why not give it to Mr. Automatic, Joffrey Reynolds?
Joffrey Reynolds, 11 rushing touchdowns a year ago. Gets it going with number 1 here today. Mike Labidjo, the motion man. Joffrey Reynolds right behind him. He's got to be his own blocker on number 10, the free safety, Willie Pyle. Reynolds does just that.
Another big drive by the Stampeders, eating up a lot of this game clock. The rookie Rob Maver already a field goal in his debut and his first point after. Now 10-0 Calgary. 3rd down, 1 yard. Call on Joffrey Reynolds.
We'll see. Reynolds is just following Mike Labidjo here. Labidjo's going to take one defender out. That leaves Joffrey Reynolds one-on-one against the free safety, Willie Pyle. Lowers the shoulder, plows his way in.
Nothing Stampeders. The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by Rona, proud sponsor of the Canadian Football League. Rona, doing it right. Calgary Stampeders have not really had any big plays so far. Have been very efficient on offense and have been on the field a lot, putting pressure on the Toronto Argonauts defense. Chad Owens comes back to return.
As we've played 27.5 minutes in this football game, the Calgary Stampeders have had the football for nearly 22 of those. Their offense might start getting tired, never mind the Argo D.
Here's short hop in front of Owens. Dodges one, ducks another. Tag teamed at the 25-yard line, and once again, Leo Lemon, who has only completed 3 passes so far, and also thrown up that interception to Keon Raymond.
So one of the things I would have expected coming into this football game from the Toronto Argonauts was to see them lean on Corey Boyd a little bit more. This is a guy who had over 140 yards rushing in a preseason game against the Montreal Alouettes. Getting him going would take a little bit of pressure off Cleo Lemon here, as well as allow some more play action opportunities in this football game for the quarterback.
As you just said, Boyd only 1 touch before that for a loss. And again, the problem that the Argos had so often last year, that Jamal Robertson no longer with the team, they would use him. But often, the Argos, who, quite frankly, have been awful the last couple of seasons, only 7 wins over 2 years, would get so far behind that they'd have to throw the football all the time. Yeah, that's one thing they need to avoid. But, I mean, the other thing they need to be aware of at this point, as well as just getting points on the board, is they've got to put together drives and earn their defensive rate. And they go back to him again. Penalty flag. And a first down by Corey Boyd. Well, Corey Boyd's a big workhorse type back. So let's put him to work. 7th round draft pick by Tampa Bay has had a lot of bad luck on and off the field. His first day of camp in the NFL, he got hurt. And then this is against the Calgary Stampeders.
Calgary number 42. That penalty's declined. First down.
Boyd's had a run of bad luck, though, and then he came to Canada in the preseason. First day, got knocked in the noggin, had a concussion, was basically cut, but said, hey, why don't you stick around? He did stick around, and well, the running back started to fall, and Corey Boyd got his chance against Montreal, and here he is, hoping to turn his fortunes around. Lemon, nice toss, and has it. Brandon Rideau, one of the other new receivers, on a nice throw by Cleo Lemon.
Well, Brandon Rideau lines up as the number 2 receiver here in a trips formation, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. This is one of the things that the Argos love about this guy. He gives them a vertical threat. Big, tall, 6'4", can run. This has always been his reputation through college, through a couple years in the NFL. Great guy on the vertical ball. We saw it in the preseason as well. Rideau had 4 catches for 99 yards in the 2 preseason games.
Lemon, and out of the backfield's Andre Dury to the 10, and cut down there. And again, close to a first down, and 2 Stampeders on the turf. Good play call that time. Bill Collins, one of the Stamps, he's hurt.
There you see number 32, Andre Dury. He's a motion guy on this play. Eventually he's going to be the receiver. We've seen this play about 3 times, and always Dury is motioning back and forth, side to side, slips out into the flat. Stampeders now have seen this one a few times. Milton Collins, the halfback, recognized it and is the first defender to get hands on him. The Argos ran this on their first offensive play of the game for a big gain. But after being hurt by it, the Stampeders are now a little better prepared.
Brandon Smith was hurt by it on this play. He got like a knee to the helmet. He did get up. Always a good sign. Bill Collins also was hurt on the play. Here it is here, number 28. Smith will come in to frame right here.
Brandon Smith catches a little bit of a forearm, maybe a little bit of a hip. Ducked his head, it appeared, on the tackle.
Here's
that
a guy.
shook him up a bit.
Here's a guy, Dwayne, who's just happy to be here right now after last year and missing with an ACL injury.
Brandon Smith played 15 games for the Stampeders as a rookie in 08. Got hurt in the preseason last year and ended up missing the entire season. We saw the Stampeders struggle to solidify the 2 halfback positions. Glad to have him back this year. Hopefully he won't be out of the lineup for long.
Now Eric Fraser comes, or Brandon Isaacson, and let's see if Jermaine Copeland will have his number called here. 1st and 5. Lemon had time. It's a touchdown to Jeff Johnson. Cleo Lemon looked like he could actually walk into the end zone there. Decided to pitch it off to Jeff Johnson, and the Argos have their first major of 2010.
Yeah, Cleo Lemon wanted to get that first CFL touchdown pass out of the way. We've seen him a couple times go to his slot back, Andre Dury. This time they run a very similar play going to the fullback. Jeff Johnson slips out into the left flat. He sees that's almost like a handoff for Cleo Lemon. Nice execution on that drive by the Argos, and what started it off? Getting Corey Boyd involved in the football game.
Uh-oh. Fumbled snap. And nowhere to go. Kevin Ivan had to eat it. So an unconverted touchdown on the board now for the Argos. 10-6 the score. Leo Lemon has his first touchdown pass as a CFLer.
The Toronto Argonauts, all of a sudden, with 2.5 minutes left, became a well-oiled offensive machine. Corey Boyd, a couple of nice runs. Cleo Lemon with some play action involving Andre Dury. The touchdown to Jeff Johnson. Brandon Rideau with the huge catch. Their big play threat. We're seeing some of the promise that we've heard Jim Barker talk about through training camp.
Jermaine Copeland has a catch so far tonight. We have him mic'd up on opening night.
Bring it out, man. They don't know what's about to hit them. All right, bro. Let's go. Good luck. Yeah, you too now, baby. Yeah, love you, man. Love you. Do your thing now, all right? All right, baby.
Well, Jermaine Copeland has been rather quiet so far, just the one reception. Said he would have chills here tonight, coming back to a place where he helped turn around a franchise with his pass catching abilities.
And also his leadership abilities. Played a big role in bringing along guys like Nick Lewis and Kenyon Rambo.
Dion Murphy from his 10-yard line. Follows a few blocks. Takes it to the 35-yard line, and Henry Burris in that offense will come out. Jeff Johnson got a chance to play a lot more last year. Saw a lot more of the football in game 1 of this season. On his first touch, finds the end zone. I guess the big question for the Calgary Stampeders and their fans is, can you replace a Jermaine Copeland?
I don't think you ever really replace Jermaine Copeland. One of the best in the business on the field. Also a really important guy off the field for this team, but other people have to step in and take on new roles.
Looks like Ben Archibald may have moved. Ben Archibald, the last remaining pillar, really, of an O-line that has been so consistent and so good for the Calgary Stampeders, but because of retirement, a move to the NFL.
Procedure, Calgary number 65. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They've got a new look there besides Archibald.
Well, they sure do. Tim O'Neill started many games last season, but he bounced between center and left guard. Archibald, the only guy who started all 18 games in the position he's in last season. Jesse Newman, Dimitri Zumpis, Jeff Pilon all departed in the offseason.
Burris is sacked. Kevin Huntley, who had 9 last year, with number 1 of this season.
Well, this is the guy that the Argos look to become a real force in the Canadian Football League. Huntley, big number 94 from his defensive tackle spot. He's working against the rookie guard, Steve Middleton. Rushes him aside to come up with a big sack.
Second down and 24 yards. The Argos, who have got some momentum now, could get the ball back with some time and some good field position. Burris out of the backfield is Cornish. And so with just under a minute to go in the first half, Burke Dales will come out and kick the ball back to Toronto.
The Toronto Argonauts suddenly grasping a little bit of momentum in this football game.
Timeout, Toronto.
Jim Barker at the helm of the Toronto Argonauts said, you know, he liked being a general manager, liked the front office stuff and administrative duties, but really missed being around the players and coaching. And this is a guy who has had a lot of success as a coordinator in the past, in the XFL, in the CFL, with a couple of Grey Cup championships. He's won where he's gone.
Well, he has done that, and common thread in Jim Barker's victories, the guy wearing number 80, Jermaine Copeland.
Oh, Dales close to having that blocked. Good hop for the Stampeders. Owens spins. Brought down at the 18-yard line with 41 seconds to go before the end of the second quarter. A long field now for Cleo Lemon and the Argos.
Well, this is one small adjustment from Burke Dales that makes this play. He decides to kick it to the wide side of the field. Teams usually anticipate a short side kick. Chad Owens was cheated over that way. Kicking it to the wide side, the ball bounces because Owens wasn't there. Ends up being a 55-yard punt for Burke Dales, and a real great shift in field position for the Stampeders.
Looked like he may have hurt his pinky there. Jermaine Franklin will update us on possible injury to Dales. Back to the ground. Back to Corey Boyd. Barker used Robert Drummond's name in reference to Corey Boyd. Not sure if Corey Boyd knows who Robert Drummond is and how he played, but that's a pretty good compliment.
It sure is. A big back, tall guy who can run, be a real power runner or a slashing runner for you. But also, and this is an important part in terms of what Jim Barker wants to do offensively for the Argonauts, is he sees Corey Boyd as a guy that he can detach from the formation, line him up as a slot, and create some mismatches in the passing game as well.
2nd and 9, keeping it on the ground. Boyd knocks down Malik Jackson and is tackled by Juwan Simpson. So it will be 3rd down, 13 seconds to go before the halftime gun. Seconds to go. I'm not so sure that you want to risk booting the ball at this point. Let that game clock wind down here. Go into the locker room down 4. So a late 2nd quarter surge from the Toronto Argonauts has put them back in this ball game. Calgary Stampeders dominated time of possession. Jermaine Copeland's return to Calgary. Quiet so far. 10-6. Rona Canada Day kickoff. Halftime show is next. Well, Cleo Lemon, his CFL debut, a guy with some NFL experience. 50% passing, the touchdown, the interception. Had it not been, though, for that 2nd quarter bomb to Brandon Rideau, those numbers obviously wouldn't be as good right now, but it was a big play. And one thing we heard yesterday from Jermaine Copeland, he loves the way that this number 1 throws the football. It reminds him of another number 1.
Cleo Lemon.
That has won its last 2 season openers. So don't gauge what a season opener can do, but Jim Barker said yesterday, this game is almost vital to his team today, just to get it going again, to get the belief into the Argonauts. Back in on the safety blitz. American Loggers continues Monday at 10 Eastern on Discovery Channel.
That could have been a logger. I've got the feet for it.
Yeah, that would have been
Got the
good,
feet.
yeah. You'd have a football, carrying a football there. That's the only thing. All works. Joffrey Reynolds. Again finds a hole and close to another first down. This time Joffrey Reynolds followed the lead of his offensive line.
And this rebuilt offensive line looks pretty good. Getting a little bit of help from their fullback, Rob Cote. He's to the right side of the screen. Well-timed block to cut off backside pursuit here. Chops down the defensive end.
Offense conservative at times here tonight. It's all working though. They have the lead 10-6. Jermaine Jackson is the injured Stampeder.
Well, we wondered offensively how the Calgary Stampeders
Jermaine Jackson being attended to by veteran athletic therapist Pat Clayton on the sideline. Looks like he's okay. 1st and 10 for the Stampeders. Now into Toronto territory with a 4-point lead early in the 3rd quarter. Quick toss. Dion Murphy has it. And he fumbles it. Willie Pyle has it. Thinking of lateraling. He does.
coming from the backside as Murphy tries to cut back. He pops it out. Willie Pyle scoops it up. Should have stopped right about there.
Yep.
No harm done, though, on the lateral to Sammy Joseph.
Well, they have the football. Spread offense. There's that hitch pass to another newcomer out of Texas Christian, Ryan Christian, in his CFL debut tonight. Here comes Malik Jackson, and Lemon lets it go and throws it out of bounds. Like a point guard there for a moment on a broken play. Well, if you've followed the Argos the last couple of years, you've needed a program just for the receivers because there have been a lot of pass catchers.
And there you see just the pass catchers that the Argos used in 2009 alone. 16 different guys. Cleo Lemon tried to throw that one away at the last second, but the flag came up because, unlike the other occasions, he didn't get this one past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
There's no infraction on the play. The quarterback tried to ground the ball, but there was a receiver in the area. It's an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Again, if there is a receiver and they deem that it might have been catchable or near a receiver, and Jeff Johnson there, I guess, well,
that overruled.
He's the guy. Yeah. Back near his 10-yard line. Dion Murphy steps out of bounds. Will step aside and come back on Rona's Canada Day kickoff on TSN. Calgary Stampeders 35. Ball control off. Jermaine Jackson being attended to by veteran athletic therapist Pat Clayton on the sideline. Looks like he's okay. 1st and 10 for the Stampeders. Now into Toronto territory with a 4-point lead early in the 3rd quarter. Quick toss. Dion Murphy has it. And he fumbles it. Willie Pyle has it. Thinking of lateraling. He does. Maybe should have thought about that one. Sammy Joseph. They lost a couple of yards, but the main thing is the Toronto Argonauts have the football. Another turnover here, and Willie Pyle, now the free safety for the Toronto Argonauts, was right there to pick up the fumble.
Well, Byron Parker is the guy who forces this one. Coming from the backside as Murphy tries to cut back. He pops it out. Willie Pyle scoops it up. Should have stopped right about there.
Yep.
No harm done, though, on the lateral to Sammy Joseph.
Well, they have the football. Spread offense. There's that hitch pass to another newcomer out of Texas Christian, Ryan Christian, in his CFL debut tonight.
Talking to Argos head coach Jim Barker, Ryan Christian was one of the guys he was really excited about on this team. A versatile guy who played both wide receiver and tailback during his time at Texas Christian. Jim Barker said he talked to TCU coach Gary Patterson, who said of the 14 players they graduated last year, despite having 3 guys drafted in the NFL, Ryan Christian is the one who'd be toughest to replace.
Little breakdown on the play. Cleo Lemon still has it, though. Here comes Malik Jackson, and Lemon lets it go and throws it out of bounds. Like a point guard there for a moment on a broken play. Well, if you've followed the Argos the last couple of years, you've needed a program just for the receivers, because there have been a lot of pass catchers.
And there you see just the pass catchers that the Argos used in 2009 alone. 16 different guys, most of whom are no longer wearing double blue. Then add Jeffrey Webb, Jermaine Copeland, Brandon Rideau to the mix in 2010. A lot of changes. Tough for a quarterback and offense to get used to.
2nd down. Lemon showing that escapability. Not this time. And grounds the football and penalized for it.
Well, Cleo Lemon tried to throw that one away at the last second, but the flag came up because, unlike the other occasions, he didn't get this one past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
There's no infraction on the play. The quarterback tried to ground the ball, but there was a receiver in the area. It's an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Again, if there is a receiver and they deem that it might have been catchable or near a receiver, and Jeff Johnson there, I guess, well,
that overruled.
Yeah,
Yep, that overruled it. The official reacted to the ball not going far enough initially. Probably didn't have an angle to see that receiver, but Johnson was clearly there.
There's Murphy. Jamie Borum, acquired by the Argos in the draft day trade to exchange top picks. Spiraling kick sends Murphy back near his 10-yard line. Dion Murphy steps out of bounds. Will step aside and come back on Rona's Canada Day kickoff on TSN. Well, of course, Purolator, great sponsor of the Canadian Football League. Purolator's sack attack, quarterback sacks last season. The Toronto Argonauts with 38, Calgary Stampeders 35. The Argonauts, however, gave up 55 sacks last year, 48 the year before. A hard time protecting their quarterback. Nick Lewis stood up, keeps going. Calgary Stampeders leading 10-6 with 9.5 to go in the 3rd.
Calgary needs to get some points on the board, as the first half showed us. Doesn't matter how long you hold on to the football or how many yards you get. If you don't put points on, you're not really dominating the game. One big play allowed the Toronto Argonauts right back into it. And they're just a play away from having the lead at any point in this football game.
2nd and 3. Burris. Kind of an off-balance throw. R.J. Franklin, and once again, now a restless crowd here at McMahon Stadium tonight. We'll see another punt delivered by Burke Dales.
Well, Henry Burris thought he would get the defensive end, Alex Busby, to bite inside on that run fake. Busby does a nice job maintaining leverage, keeping outside in position. That's what forced Burris into the bad throw.
Owens from his 40. Sidesteps one. Chad Owens with a nice return. Right to the midfield stripe. 8.5 minutes to go in quarter 3 in McMahon Stadium in Calgary. 5 seasons in Calgary. It has not been the best of homecomings so far for Jermaine Copeland. Just 1 reception.
Well, if you're a Calgary defensive coordinator, Chris Jones, and you see names like Jeffrey Webb, Brandon Rideau, and Andre Dury as the other Argo receivers, who are you going to focus your coverage on? Of course, Jermaine Copeland, and he's received all sorts of attention from various Stampeder defenders.
Good field position to start for the Argos here. Lemon, there's the rush, gets it away. It's Christian who is brought down in the backfield by Keon Raymond.
That's a terrific job of tackling in the open field by Keon Raymond. He's out there one-on-one in space. No help in sight. Terrific job setting his feet, squaring up his target, and bringing down the receiver, Ryan Christian. And that's coming full speed all the way from the interior of the Stampeder defense to make that play.
Loss of 4 on the play. Here comes the pressure again. Owens makes the catch, fumbles the football. Stampeders have it. So we've seen a couple of new receivers have trouble hanging on to the football so far tonight. First it was Dion Murphy for Calgary, and now it's Chad Owens for the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, these 2 kick returners have taken a couple of licks, playing regular snaps on offense. Chad Owens getting spun around and lit up.
There is a penalty flag. Came after the whistle.
After the recovery, well, the major foul, Calgary, number 96, 15-yard penalty. Will be 1st and 10.
Miguel Robide.
Well, in the midst of the celebration, Robide felt he had been tripped up by an Argo player, went back and shoved Taylor Robertson in the middle of the scrum. Cost his team 15 yards in the process.
Henry Burris sets up shop here. 35-yard line after another turnover. Burris over the middle for Lewis. Nick Lewis with a little high step and a first down.
Nick Lewis anticipated that Willie Pyle was going to try to go low on the tackle. Went airborne to try to avoid that. Pyle 1 step ahead. Nick Lewis just on that short in route. We've seen him run so many times over the last 6 years.
Back to pass again. Little out pattern. Robbie Bryant sprung. Big play this time from the Stampeders and Robbie Bryant.
Well, this is one of the guys the Stamps need to get going when you talk about picking up the slack with the departure of Jermaine Copeland. Robbie Bryant lines up as the wide man on the short side of the field. Blazing speed, 1,000-yard season in Winnipeg in 2008. Pushes deep, makes that quick out cut. Defensive back Michael Grant doesn't come under control to make the tackle. That allows Bryant to slip upfield, pick up a few extra yak yards.
2 big plays pushing the ball inside the Toronto 35. Dion Murphy near the first down marker. Looks like he will move the sticks again.
One of those trends we've seen offensively in the CFL developed a little bit last year. I found teams trying to integrate their kick returners a little bit more into the offense and allow them to use those open field skills. Try to get those guys the ball in space and let them do their thing.
Just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Stamps look to extend their lead. Burris and Nick Lewis wasn't looking. Turned around at the last minute, saw the football, but it was low.
Not quite enough on that ball from Henry Burris. Looked like Lewis got his head around late on that one as well, which didn't help him to adjust.
Rob Cote just brought in a play from the sideline. 2nd and 10. Oh, and the Argos, were they drawn, or was it, did Calgary move? Let these guys figure it out.
You could hear that inflection in Henry Burris's voice in the snap count.
Procedure, Calgary number 53. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That is newcomer Edwin Harrison, right tackle, taking over from the retired Jeff Pilon.
Closest to the bottom of your screen, number 53, Harrison, the right tackle. Leaps out into his pass set a little bit early.
Second and 15 now. And again, did the Stampeders move? You almost expect this stuff early in the season.
Procedure, Calgary number 60. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Especially from newcomers like Harrison, but Dan Comiskey, the veteran, number 60, left guard.
The left guard here. He hangs his head. Not a veteran play. Dan Comiskey back after years retirement.
2nd and 20 yards. Burris flushed. Takes off and will get close to the original first down marker, so that will bring out the rookie kicker again, Rob Maver. And all of that, couple of big plays. The best the Stampeders will come out with here is a field goal.
Well, the pressure came quickly off the edges. Henry Burris was flushed out of the pocket. Good coverage downfield. Left him no one to throw to on the scramble.
24-year-old. First game in the Canadian Football League. Guelph University. 2nd field goal attempt. So far, the kid's been perfect. Extends the lead to 13-6. Available in high definition. Lots of time left in this football game opening night. It's really been a battle of defenses so far. Not a lot of big plays and not a lot of scoring, unlike the opener to the CFL season, which came in Mosaic Stadium in Regina earlier tonight. Saskatchewan Roughriders beating the Montreal Alouettes 54-51 in overtime, and even a 13th man call in that game. Too many men. Who would have thought? Maver now the kickoff as the Argos choose to have him kick it off after the field goal, and Chad Owens with a cutback. 25-yard line is where the Argos will start.
Cleo Lemon remains at quarterback, and as Jim Barker told Jermaine Franklin at halftime, he's going to get better with every snap. And whether the offense is going exactly as planned or not, they've got to let Cleo Lemon get in his reps.
9 of 18 so far. Protection this time from the edge, though, and thrown down. Terrius George gets to Cleo Lemon.
Well, that just sounds like a mean defensive lineman, doesn't it? Terrius George comes off the edge. He's working against the left tackle, Rob Murphy. Murphy misses on the cut. Tay George in there to haul down Cleo Lemon. No time for the first-year quarterback to throw that one away. George had led the Stampeders with 8 sacks back in 2008.
Second and long, Lemon ducks. Throws long downfield. Looking for Brandon Rideau, who got caught up in coverage, and Lemon got knocked down in the backfield, picked up by Juwan Simpson.
Cleo Lemon looking to his 6'4" receiver to try and come up with a desperation jump ball here. Takes a pretty good double team shot there from Juwan Simpson and Charleston Hughes.
Jamie Borum at his 2-yard line. 7-point game. Does have the wind, but just got that away, or it was blocked. Murphy swarmed and brought down, but excellent field position for Henry Burris in the Stampeder offense now with 3.5 to go before the fourth quarter.
Henry Burris, Joffrey Reynolds, Nick Lewis and company with the short field could be a bad combination for the Toronto Argonauts.
(21 of 28 tonight for Burris. Robbie Bryant takes a lick from Michael Grant after a pickup of 5 yards.
It's just a little 5-yard hitch to Robbie Bryant as they anticipate that there's going to be more of a cushion from Michael Grant on that play. We've seen previous plays where Grant has given Robbie Bryant that respect because of his speed. That time played a little bit more closely. Was there to make the tackle in a hurry.
To the air again goes Burris. And Jermaine Jackson. And will they give him his progression? Looks like they will. He gets a good spot here. Had to get to the Argo 39 for a first down. Might be a little short.
The sticks will come in for a measurement.
Well, they came all the way across the field for that first down. Stampeders have failed to do tonight on 2 occasions. Punched that ball into the end zone. Joffrey Reynolds scored earlier, the lone touchdown. This is a team that scored a lot of points from the red zone or green zone inside the 20 last year. Offense has stalled a couple of times deep into Argo territory. Henry takes it himself. A hard hit up the middle at the 35-yard line.
Quarterback draw pretty well defended by the Toronto Argonauts that time. Defensive linemen did a good job of retracing their steps, their pass lanes once they recognized what was happening.
Showing off those pearly whites, a guy known as Smilin' Hank. 2008 most outstanding player in the Grey Cup game.
40.
Reynolds in the backfield. Burris will go to the air again. Pump fakes. To his left was looking for Reynolds. It's pretty close to the line of scrimmage again. And once again, the field goal unit will come out.
And that's the decision Henry Burris no doubt wishes he could have back. Was probably in a good position to run for the first down, or certainly at least challenge for that marker, rather than make that off-balance throw. Perhaps a late change in his intentions.
Stampeders trying to win this home opener, season opener. Won their 2 preseason games over Edmonton and Saskatchewan. It all counts tonight, though. Now, Maver from the 42. The kick is up, and it is wide. His first miss. Chad Owens gives up the single point. 48 seconds left in the third quarter.
Rob Maver made 92% of his field goals last year at Guelph. In fact, just missed 1 out of 14 attempts. You see his frustration with his first CFL miss.
Life of a kicker. The guy they had here, who is now in Hamilton, led a pretty good life as a kicker for the Stampeders.
Well, that's what happens when you pull out a few last-minute wins. Sandro DeAngelis moved on as a free agent this offseason.
There's a little pitch on the outside to Andre Dury. Hurdle still on his feet, and they've gone to Andre Dury a couple of times tonight with success. Makes you wonder why they don't call that number a little more. 32 again with a first down.
Well, Andre Dury has shown exactly why Jim Barker felt it was important to get this young Canadian on the football field and more involved in the offense this year than he has been in the past. Dury, 2009, had just 2 receptions and only 1 carry. He had surpassed that in the first quarter of this ball game.
Injured player on the field, just off the Calgary sideline, so let's take some time here with 23 seconds remaining. You know, the Argos, as Malik Jackson gets to his feet, talk about their lack of success. They've also lost 8 games in a row dating back to last year. Lost 5 in a row to Calgary. Jackson may have hit his head against the turf. There it is right there.
Jackson, Stampeders' leading tackler. Top rookie a year ago. So starting will linebacker, that'll be a big loss for them defensively.
Lemon one-on-one here, and unable to haul it in is Jeffrey Webb.
This is one of those big catches that you really need your receivers to make when the offense is stalling a little bit. One of those that can spark things for a team. No doubt it's a tough catch, but Cleo Lemon put it in the right spot. See, it drops just off the fingertips of Jeffrey Webb. Webb's a guy who's earned a little bit of a reputation for making the tough catch. In college, once had one of the NCAA plays of the year. A one-handed grab he made at San Diego State.
Bad snap. Lemon better get on it. He does. On the final play of the third quarter, when we come back, the Argos will have to kick it back to the Calgary Stampeders. 14-6 the score. on the Rona Canada Day kickoff. Welcome back to Calgary. Stats of the quarter brought to you by Tim Hortons, proud sponsor of the CFL.
The Calgary Stampeders continue to widen that gap in terms of time of possession and offensive yardage. The Argos just not able to hold on to any of the momentum that they generated at the end of that first half.
You know, Coach Jim Barker said that they have to run the ball more. They only ran the ball once, the Argos did, in that third quarter.
Yeah, and for as much as the big play to Brandon Rideau led to the Argos' lone touchdown in this football game, it was a drive triggered by the runs of Corey Boyd. They haven't really gone back to him.
Cleo Lemon, little miscommunication between center Dominic Picard and Lemon on that last play. So Jamie Borum will come out now as Barker chats with Lemon. And once again, we'll kick this away. Argos will go into the wind here in the fourth quarter. The breeze has died here a little bit at McMahon Stadium, however. Leon Murphy wrapped up and brought down. Chad Rempel downfield makes the tackle.
Good to see Chad Rempel back after that broken leg he suffered late last season. Earned the job as the Argos long snapper. One of the few Canadian receivers who suited up for Toronto last season to actually survive the offseason and training camp. The sweeping changes that receiving core made by new head coach Jim Barker.
Into the fourth quarter now, an 8-point Stampeder lead. Henry Burris scrambling now, looking downfield, and throws it into the fourth row.
Henry Burris dropped in this game. 17.
Ronald Flemings, the man in pursuit of Henry Burris. For as many good things as the Stampeders have done today, I have a feeling film with Coach Huff won't be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Let's see if they can get some momentum here in the fourth quarter offensively. That was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And another 2 and out for that Stampeder offense. Both offenses have sputtered here for the most part.
And Ronald Flemings doing his part on that drive. First play in pursuit of Henry Burris, forcing the throwaway that time. Getting his hand on the football, deflecting it harmlessly out of the way.
A new daddy overnight. His wife gave birth to a brand new baby girl at 3 a.m. Made it to the team meeting at 10 a.m. Trying to get a win tonight for his Argos. And Chad Owens has some running room. Pass Dales. Owens, will he go? Chad Owens, look at this. Can he get to the end zone? Yes! Touchdown!
What an effort by Chad Owens. Former University of Hawaii star who set an NCAA record by once returning 5 punts for touchdowns in one season, has his first here in the Canadian Football League. It doesn't get much bigger than this.
Spectacular. A combination of some blocks, combination of great running and some missed tackles. And Chad Owens has a 90-yard touchdown.
One of the key blocks on that play was a bit of a non-block by the veteran Byron Parker.
Grant Shaw with a point after the Argos soar back thanks to the speed of Chad Owens. Unbelievable.
Help from all sorts of sources. First, he gets a block from Ryan Christian. Then a great decision on what we'll call a non-block by Jordan Younger. Decides not to light up Eric Fraser because he knows he'll get called. He lays off, just impedes him enough to knock him off. And then Owens does the rest himself. The straight arm and a heck of a fight on Brandon Browner. Jim Barker loves what he sees from his new acquisition.
1-point ball game. Now the other new kick returner, Dion Murphy. Behind blocks. And he fumbled it.
For the third time in this game.
Was it knocked out by an Argo? If it was, it's Toronto football. They'll look, and don't be surprised if there is a challenge here, depending on what happened.
Typically on a ball that gets punched out, after the punch out, they need another Argo to touch it here to gain possession.
What a play by Dion Murphy there to knock it out
Murphy got
himself.
his right hand on that football. It's a great save, but that's Murphy's third fumble in this football game. 2 on returns, 1 on offense. For a guy that Coach Huffnagel said won the job as their primary kick returner because he was a sure-handed guy.
Inside Toronto territory after that big play. Burris play action. Good play. Once again, another reception for Robbie Bryant tonight. His 5th catch of the evening.
Robbie Bryant is playing the short side wide receiver position. Past couple years, that has been Kenyon Rambo's spot. So an important role in this offense. Robbie Bryant has really stepped it up here. As he cracks the century mark.
Stampeders try to answer that. Chad Owens. Punt return for the touchdown and over the middle. Joffrey Reynolds. Half the first down yardage. Kind of funny, the Stampeders' go-to guy a year ago, the last couple of years at this time would have been Jermaine Copeland, now wearing Argo colors. Who will be the guy to step up here? Might it be Nick Lewis? 2nd and 5. Reynolds down to the 10. Big run there.
Jermaine Copeland might have been the go-to guy through the air. But the real go-to guy in this Calgary offense, as he has been for the last few years, none other than Joffrey Reynolds. Old reliable up the middle, and once again we see Joffrey Reynolds run through a couple of arm tackles to pick up that first down.
Pump fake to the end zone. Touchdown! Or is it? They're saying no. The fireworks go off. Premature. The officials are saying it was dropped. Burris says it's a touchdown. Let's take another look.
It's a great adjustment to the football by the fullback Rob Cote. Squeezes it.
Did he have it? Wow. Or did he not? Second down now. Argo defense trying to hold again to the end zone. Nick Lewis can't come up with it, and through the smoke of the fireworks that went off, once again, Rob Maver will have to come out, and the best the Stamps will be able to get, 3 points on a field goal.
Well, Nick Lewis, we saw him come up with a one-handed grab very early in this football game, unable to come up with that one in the end zone.
Smoke still lingering. Rob Maver. Short field goal, 3rd of the night. 4-point game, 10 minutes to go. opening night in the Canadian Football League.
We saw a play in the end zone moments ago. Pass to Rob Cote, the fullback. Sneaks out of the backfield on the fake hitch. Continues on the deep route. Henry Burris throws the dart. It's what we call a throw behind. Cote makes a nice adjustment. Looks initially like he's come up with that one. But this is ruled no touchdown. It's an incomplete pass because he failed to survive contact in coming down with that football. He didn't maintain possession as he came to the ground.
Just the second running play for the Argos, who said they wanted to run the football more in this second half. Once again, Corey Boyd, great coverage there by Lynn J. Shell on that play as well.
Shell did a terrific job getting a hand in there, enough to ensure that Rob Cote wasn't going to be able to come down with the rock.
Argo offense, the one touchdown. Just before halftime. And a first down and a fumble. They're saying it was, the Argos are saying it was down, and Jermaine Copeland's second catch of the night. Now the Stampeders are saying they have the football. Referees are saying that Calgary has the football, and the former Stampeder has given it back to his old teammates.
Jermaine Copeland catches this quick hitch and tries to reach upfield with that ball. Malik Jackson punched it out on the way down. We'll watch the knees of Copeland here. It appears that Malik Jackson, number 11, weak side linebacker, knocks this one free before Copeland's knees are down.
Yeah. They're still talking about it, and now they are saying it is Toronto football. They are.
Copeland's knees aren't down yet. You'll see the ball start to fall out of there. Copeland's knees aren't down.
They are.
That ball is out. The Argos will want to snap this one before the Stamps can throw the
There are
flag.
too many men for Calgary on the field. Chaos ensues here.
After review, the ball was indeed fumbled before he was down. Calgary recovered the ball. First down on the 48-yard line.
Jermaine Copeland, former Stampeder hero. First game as an Argo. Just 2 catches so far tonight, and also a fumble. At the Toronto 48 now, Henry Burris, the 4-point lead. Behind cover, Burris, room to roam, and a first down.
Well, Henry Burris had a pump fake as he started on the move here. And Jason Pottinger, the middle linebacker, number 46, bit hard. Pottinger, number 46, just to the left side of the screen. Turned to go with the running back, John Cornish, on the pump fake. There you see Pottinger. Got spun right around by that one pump fake from Burris. That's what allowed him to pick up the first down.
Joffrey Reynolds has room, and another Calgary first down.
Classic Joffrey Reynolds, just shifting gears as he saw that run lane open up. Reynolds, the reigning CFL rushing champion, most outstanding player in the West Division last season. And right on average for Joffrey Reynolds, just above 6 yards, 13 carries for 79 yards on the day.
Usually averages against the Argos 88 yards every time he's played them. Burris high steps, gets out of trouble, and throws it wisely out of bounds and avoids the sack. And a penalty flag at the 25-yard line.
Well, this is splitting hairs to determine that this one didn't go past the line of scrimmage. This is a real close call.
Calgary, number 1. Second down at the point of the ball was thrown. Second down.
So virtually a sack. Had to get it to the 21-yard line.
Phenomenal escape skills from Henry Burris on that play. Finally throws this one away as Willie Pyle wraps him up. It's very close to the line of scrimmage.
Now second and long. Stampeders have not had much success driving the football in Argo territory. Nick Lewis will get about 3 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. So once again, it's another field goal attempt.
The rookie Rob Maver is earning his money. We suspected that the Calgary Stampeders might miss the presence of Jermaine Copeland in the green zone. And that's the way things have played out here today.
R.J. Franklin is the holder. This kick will come from near the 38-yard line, and it's good for the rookie. 32-yard kick, 2013 Calgary. Doing it right. 4 of 5 in his CFL debut. First-round draft pick. 7-point game. Corey Boyd.
I'm glad to see the Argos haven't given up on Corey Boyd in that running game. This is still a one-possession football game for the Argos. Keep an eye on Eric Fraser off the right side of that defense. Nearly overruns it. Reaches back, just gets enough of Corey Boyd to slow him down for the rest of the troops.
Second down and 2. In the shotgun is Lemon, and some movement at the line.
Procedure. Toronto number 61. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Cedric Gagne-Marcoux, the free agent from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Guilty party.
Gagne-Marcoux, the left guard. The early twitch here as he sees the linebackers creeping up in blitz posture. Got a little antsy.
Makes it 2nd and 7. Time ticking away here inside 6 minutes. Here's the rush. Lemon gets drilled. And the ball is incomplete. Leo Lemon just took a wicked hit.
Oh, we talked to Cleo Lemon yesterday about what he knew about this Calgary Stampeder defense. He said the big thing is the speed. There's so much speed. But again, if Cleo Lemon's going to take that hit, he needs Brandon Rideau to make that catch for him.
That's Brandon Rideau now, Jeffrey Webb, and the lament of the Argos the last couple of years. Receivers who've been unable to catch balls, and boy, Jamie Borum almost had that blocked. Dion Murphy cuts back. Stampeders will start near their 30-yard line. 7-point ball game. Henry Burris and the Stampeders have owned the offensive time clock, but lost in all of this perhaps the fact that the Toronto Argonauts defense has been able to hold in their own territory.
Well, it's shades of the days of Rich Stubler, bend but don't break. That's been the Argos mantra here today. Keeping the Stampeders out of the end zone. Solid opening day performance from Henry Burris, 25 of 38. Completed 70% of his passes in the 2 games against the Argos last season.
Keeping it on the ground, John Cornish fumbles the football. The Argos have it, Willie Pyle. And Toronto with a major turnover here with 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
Well, we said it earlier in this football game, Rod. The fear for the Calgary Stampeders is that they allowed the Toronto Argonauts to stay within 1 play. This narrow margin of error. Cornish bobbles this one just as he goes through the line of scrimmage, going to make that spin. Loses the handle and ends up on the ground. Willie Pyle, from his new free safety position, comes up with his 2nd fumble recovery of the very young season.
Stampeders have scored 10 points tonight off turnovers. The Argos haven't scored any, but maybe here. Hanging on is Webb, Jeffrey Webb.
Cleo Lemon does a nice job getting rid of that one in a hurry. Already all smiles for the Argo defense, but how much happier will they be if the offense can capitalize? In the middle of that shot, defensive coordinator Chip Garber.
Lemon, play action, decides to take it. Not a good decision. Big defensive stop.
Well, Cleo Lemon had to make his decision quickly on that one. And under the circumstances, there wasn't much there, but I think that was the only decision he could make, partner. His receivers were pretty well covered up. He didn't want to take a sack.
Now a field goal attempt with 4 minutes to go. And here comes Grant Shaw. His first field goal attempt in the Canadian Football League. 2nd round pick, a cornerback from Saskatchewan. And his first kick is good. They love the leg on this guy. Guy who played the corner for the Huskies in college.
Bradshaw didn't just play it, he was an All-Canadian, CIS All-Canadian at cornerback, and he's actually also been playing special teams here for the Argos today, out there on some of their kick and kick return units, as well as being their place kicker.
So the lead is back to 4 points. Toronto Argonauts trying to end an 8-game losing streak dating back to last year. Jim Barker's first game returning as head coach of the Toronto Argonauts, taking over from Bart Andrus after the 3-15 debacle last year. Play action, Robbie Bryant. Little deke on the sidelines. You hear that Stampeder sideline there saying, whoa.
A little bit like trying to tackle a ghost out there for the cornerback Michael Grant in his CFL debut. Robbie Bryant gave him a pretty good shake.
Big first down.
First and 10 from the Stampeders.
Reynolds in the backfield. Takes the handoff. Joffrey Reynolds, Mr. Reliable again. Close to another first down. 8.5 to 9 yards.
We've talked a lot about this remodeled Calgary offensive line. 3 brand new starters. Tim O'Neill becoming a full-time starter for the first time. Real nice push on that last play.
3-minute warning on the field. 2016 at Calgary. Rona Canada Day kickoff will continue. Tonight's game story brought to you by Mr. Lube. A bit of a chess match between these two teams from the get-go. 2016 Calgary with 3 minutes left.
On the story, Henry Burris spreading the ball around to 8 different receivers. None of them Jermaine Copeland. Cleo Lemon came up with his first touchdown pass. Chad Owens, newly required punt returner with the Argos' first punt return TD since August of 2008. Rob Maver in his CFL debut, the first round pick for the Stamps, 4 for 5 so far on field goal attempts.
Second down and 1 yard to go. Inside Toronto territory. Interesting formation there as Burris goes forward, but we'll have to see where they spot this. Not so sure he got there. Will be close. He still has another opportunity if he does not get this first down.
The Stampeders seem to catch the Argos back on their heels a little bit with their initial surge after that spread motion. Maybe had the Argos wary of a hitch pass.
They'll bring the yard markers out here. Again earlier tonight, Montreal Alouettes, the defending Grey Cup champions, the big lead in Saskatchewan and lost in overtime. The new overtime rules, the 2-point convert in effect in OT, and Montreal lost to Saskatchewan 54-51 in a wild shootout that also featured too many men on the field penalty against the Saskatchewan Roughriders again, of all things. You can watch all the highlights tonight in Sports Center. So it will be third down. Two and a half minutes to go. Third down, less than a yard. And Burris trying to go forward, and again, looks like that initial progression may have got it. Let's see where they spot this football. A little close for comfort, Mr. Ford.
Sure was. Henry Burris ended up all by himself, it seemed. A little more exposed than you'd like to see your quarterback on a sneak. Kevin Hundley coming over the top to wrap him up.
Calgary feels they achieved the first down. They measure again. Yes, they will. first, it looked like they had to get to the 52-yard line, and they did.
Very clearly have that one.
So a fresh set of downs now for the Stampeders.
Just over 2 minutes to go. You got to believe it's Reynolds' time.
Keep in mind, should Calgary not be able to get to the end zone here, another field goal would again make it a 7-point game. Still a chance for the Argos. Stampeders want to control the clock. They have all night. Nowhere to go for Joffrey Reynolds. May have even lost a yard here.
Great pursuit down that defensive line by the Toronto Argonauts. Keeping Joffrey Reynolds running laterally, not allowing him to get his shoulders turned upfield. Ronald Flemings continues his strong performance. He's the right defensive end at the bottom of your screen. Just runs right inside the slot back. Jermaine Jackson was supposed to crack him, meaning a block from outside in to pin Flemings to the inside. Flemings beat him upfield and made that play.
There's one of the biggest plays of the game right here. Over the middle. Is it caught? Yes, it is. Nick Lewis on 2nd and 11. Clutch catch.
Well, Nick Lewis, as he's done throughout his career, pays the price to make a play. Lewis motioning out of that backfield. Number 82 ends up as the number 3 receiver to the field. Just settles it across the middle.
Just over a minute to go now. Reynolds up Main Street. First down and more. Down inside the 10. And 17 yards rushing now for Joffrey Reynolds in a matchup one-on-one with the other 21.
Lin-J Shell had an opportunity to make that play. May have been a half-second slow getting to the spot he wanted as he was caught behind the official. But Joffrey Reynolds wins that battle nonetheless. Again, running through another tackle. Joffrey Reynolds and the O-line earning their keep.
Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. 58 seconds to go. 4-point lead. Touchdown would seal it.
Well, you've got a lot of different measuring sticks for a good football team. One of those is the ability in a situation like this, when 30,000 plus people know you're going to run the football and you're still able to successfully execute those plays along the ground. Credit the hard-running Joffrey Reynolds and a tremendous job by this offensive line. 3 new starters, including 2 playing their first CFL regular season game on the right side in guard Steve Middleton and right tackle Edwin Harrison.
Toronto using a timeout. Joffrey Reynolds scored early in the ball game. Stampeders 1 for 4 in the red zone tonight. Burris will look to the end zone and will throw it away with 50 seconds to go. Setting up a 3rd down play now. Maver will come out to make it a 7-point game. The Argos will get the football back.
That's not just the frustration of one play you see from Henry Burris. That's the frustration of a number of unsuccessful trips into the green zone.
Into the green zone, unable to punch it into the end zone. Haven't been able to close tonight on opening night. Now Maver 4 of 5 in his CFL debut. 14-yarder. 23-16, 48 seconds to go. And the Argos still have a chance to tie this ball game up. They elect to scrimmage at the 35. Leo Lemon in his first game in the Canadian Football League. Only 2 catches from Jermaine Copeland so far tonight. Who would have thought we would say that? There's Copeland. The game breaker, the playmaker. Shy of a first down.
We'll see if the Argos continue to lean on him a little bit more. The ultimate crunch time.
Only used up 4 seconds of the clock. There's the rush again. Lemon avoids it. Rolling out. Nobody open over the middle. And it is a first down. Once again, it's Jeffrey Webb. They'll have to hustle. 34 to go.
That one ate up a lot of time for a short gain. No doubt Cleo Lemon benefiting here in the hurry-up offense with that headset in his helmet.
That snap, look out, in trouble. Down he goes, fumble. Malik Jackson will score. Touchdown. Game over.
Malik Jackson gets the touchdown. Wes Lysak gets the assist. Number 31 is going to bring the pressure off that right edge of the Calgary defense. Blindside hit on Cleo Lemon as he sets up. Thank you very much, says Malik Jackson. He's off to the races.
Wes Lysak responsible for that. Seven points. Leo Lemon trying to march his team back, but a big hit by Lysak. The scoop and the score from Malik Jackson. And the Calgary Stampeders will continue the Toronto Argonauts' misery against West Division opponents.
Lysak and Lemon coming off the opposite edges. They pick up Jackson on the front side of the play. He gets blocked by the running back, Corey Boyd. They're just outnumbered, and there's no one on the backside for Wes Lysak.
Look at the points off turnovers. There's the difference tonight. 17, the differential. Calgary Stampeders know that they still have some work to do offensively in the red or green zone, what you might call it, and an unsuccessful trip back to McMahon Stadium for Jim Barker and Jermaine Copeland. Losing streak for the Argos that will stretch to 9 games. Have not won in a West Division city since 2007. And have lost now, when this is all said and done, 6 in a row to the Calgary Stampeders. Two seconds to go. Dribbles through Chad Owens. Try to run it out. What do you do if you're the Toronto Argonauts now? And it's only one game. Again, we talked about it before. They've won their last 2 season openers and had abysmal seasons.
then this is a great thing.
What about the positives moving forward for the Argos? We saw some positives that we didn't see for the most part last season tonight.
No doubt about it. And I think when you're Jim Barker, certainly you're going to correct the things that went wrong, but that's not what you're going to emphasize. You're going to try and build on those positives. And that includes a weapon in the return game in Chad Owens. I think they've found a new threat offensively in Andre Dury. You know you've got Jermaine Copeland. I think you've got to try and get him the ball a little bit more.
Brandon Rudeau and Cleo Lemon with more reps and more time. Again, he's a guy who's been around football. He's quarterbacked at the highest level. But these are different reads here. As you saw tonight, he had a lot of red jerseys in his grill.
These are different reads and things happening at a different speed. I think for fans watching this, yeah, this is the regular season debut, and they've had a month-long training camp. But the bottom line is there are only 2 preseason games, and Cleo Lemon had to split time in those games. Cleo Lemon played maybe a little over 3 quarters in preseason. He played more here tonight than he did in the preseason. And so this is going to be a learning process for him and for some of the other young Argos, guys like Jeffrey Webb, Brandon Rudeau. But these guys are going to grow together and have an opportunity to be a competitive football team.
Jermaine Copeland has the ball on the final play of the game, but it's a non-factor here tonight. The Calgary Stampeders 30, the Toronto Argonauts 16. To Canada Day, Calgary's night on opening night in the Canadian Football League. Sports Center is next.